I would actually be very careful about glamorising prostitution. There are a lot of women today who want to do it just to clear a little bit of debt or for a little bit of pin money, and they don't realise what's involved. Going from walking the streets to being an high-class escort or whatever, it was a long and painful journey, and I learnt a lot during that time. And I guess I had moved a mountain to get from that tower block where I had a daughter at 18, to be in a position where I was earning thousands of pounds a week, and had the fantastic jewellery, had the holidays away, the wonderful wardrobe, everything. And then finally got to the point where I looked in the mirror and there was a series of events that caused that, and basically thought I've moved the wrong mountain, and decided to try and turn it all around. So I sold all the businesses and...
So what was that moment of epiphany?
There were three things that happened simultaneously. One of my friends got a lump on the back of his hand in September and was dead by Christmas. He was 29 years old, and he was a personal trainer. My mum rang me and said, will you come and see me? I'm in hospital, and she'd had a breast removed. And the third thing, which is going to sound really, really weird and make me look really freaky, but was actually Diana's death, because I grieved, and I thought, why am I grieving so heavily for someone I don't even know? And the bottom line was, she was the epitome of everything I'd originally wanted to be. You know, she was successful, she was beautiful, she had this big heart. And I realised that in actual fact, you know, what Diana's whole ethos was about loving people and all the rest of it, and just basically I'd gone so far off the mark, you know.
But in the beginning, because you were saying just now that it's not a glamorous, and obviously you wouldn't advise anyone to go into it really as a career move, but how bad was it in the beginning? I mean, how terrible was it for you? What happened?
Well, I started on the streets, and you know, basically at 18, and it was pretty horrendous. It's a hostile jungle, but on the streets you don't even know who the enemy is. You know, it's not always the clients you've got to watch for. I mean, I was robbed on a number of occasions by other girls and stuff.
Was it just competition, really?
So, yeah, that, and because, you know, at the end of the day they just set you up and stuff.
So, but you carried on. Did it make you stronger? Did it make you tougher?
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
hard-faced, actually. And it was actually a very long journey for me to turn it around from street girl to high-class girl, because as a high-class girl, you have to give that girlfriend experience and be able to be affectionate with clients.
How did you do that then? How did you make that?
It came as a very long process. When you were talking about, you know, when we were talking about Diana, the whole thing there really was about what mark have I made on anybody's life. You know, that's sort of where I was at with that. You know, it was a feeling of what difference could I make, and if I died tomorrow, what would anybody remember me for? You know, when I was working as a high-class escort, it was as if it was quite a safe, neutral environment, and I felt as if I was giving something a little bit better than, say, for example, the streets. You do feel as if there is a real role there.
The other thing is, I mean, there's an endless fascination, isn't there, with prostitutes, and you know, you're here and you're a nice lady and you're very articulate and all the rest of it, and so we're kind of intrigued by you. But you were running a substantial empire, and we hear very little about the blokes, do we? And I've never ever seen a bloke being interviewed on television as, yes, I regularly go to prostitutes and this is why I do it and this is the scene. I mean, who are these people?
They're very normal people, cross-section of your audience, 2 or 3 people perhaps, you know. I don't know, it's just normal people who work in banks, people who sweep the streets, it varies.
But I mean, they're also part of this industry in terms of street girls, you know, and them being endangered. The guys who
I've got no tolerance whatsoever for guys who use street girls. We've got tolerated brothels already, okay, so they're not legalised, but they are tolerated. So my thing is, what would be the motive of a guy who goes on the streets to pick a girl up? It's either going to be because he doesn't want to use a condom, he wants that extra thrill, or perhaps because he wants an underage girl. But whatever reason, the guys who are picking girls up on the streets are doing it for an ulterior motive.
But why do the girls still work on the streets then?
Well, let's put it this way. When I ran brothels, I wouldn't have had street girls working for me, because a lot of them, unfortunately, had drug problems. Some of them were underage, some of them were illegal immigrants. And as a brothel owner, you have to keep away from all of that, otherwise you are raided.
So there's almost a class system within prostitution.
There is. Don't get me wrong, there are brothels that are less scrupulous than the way that I operated. There are, but as a rule, you do get pretty much, depending where you are geographically, left alone if you operate within that guideline, you know.
But I mean, now you have changed your life. You've made that decision. You're actually writing your autobiography, which is going to be out next year. So what's life for you now?
Well, Priceless comes out in 2005. I'm very excited about that. I've got a very good publisher, Hodder and Stoughton. And I'm looking forward to doing some after-dinner speaking. That's already on the cards, and some quite funny stories, as you can imagine.
Yeah, so. Well, it is. And you've got a 17-year-old daughter, and she's cool with it all?
She's absolutely beautiful. She's an absolute diamond. We have a very good relationship. We talk openly about sex and boys and everything else. She'd be mortified if she hears that. She's very, very bright, and I'm very proud of her. And she was one of my main motivations, really, for quitting. You know, my mum was poorly, and she thought at the time she was dying, she sort of said, look, you know, your daughter is going to come back and live with you, and think of all the things you've been exposed to while you've been in this business. And I did, and I did know at that time that for her, I had to have a different life.
Well, Charlie, thanks very much for coming and telling us a bit about it, and your autobiography, I'm sure, will reveal all. Charlie Daniels. To take a breather, but we'll be back soon with a treat for the ladies. Yes, chat show host Mr. Jeremy Kyle will be here. Who's the daddy? He is the daddy. Get the lie detector set up. See you soon. Welcome back to today's Loose Women, where the lips are loose and so are the morals. Now, now all morning I've been promising to give away £2,000. No more callers, please. The lines are now closed. The question was, which character appeared in the very first episode of Coronation Street? Was it A, Fred Elliott? I say, was it Fred Elliott? Was it B, Sarah Platt? Or was it C, Ken Barlow? It was, of course, Ken Barlow. Thank you, audience. We'll let you know the winner at the end of the show. Now, talking of loose morals, this is our regular little strand we have now where viewers write in and ask for our advice, strangely, on dilemmas that they have. So this is from Sarah in Bridlington, and she says, hi girls, my dilemma is my friend. Basically, every time I purchase something for myself or my house, she copies it. I know imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, but it is really annoying. I have to save really hard for everything I have, and she finds out where I get everything and she purchases it too. How do I stop this without hurting our relationship?
That's really funny, that, because that's happened to me a couple of times, actually. And it's a friend of mine, who is still a friend of mine, but someone I've known for a little while. I'm not going to mention any names. But would, like, you know, anything I had, clothes, would go and buy the same clothes, same perfume, same makeup, has a haircut the same place as me.
It's annoying, isn't it? It's annoying. It happened to me once, back in the 80s, a friend of mine, was just everything I bought. And the thing is, I don't really know why I was annoyed. It was annoying then.
I don't think it would annoy me, actually.